Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Eva, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you guys on another tour of my garden because it's been a while since I posted my last video, and that's because my garden, you guys know I've been going through some struggles with the animals eating things, and this time around it has been the gophers that have destroyed all my greens and my peas. So they are able to come in with, this is the old fencing that you guys, I've had this, and they are able to come in through these tiny little holes here, and they go in and they decimated everything. So I have no more peas. The peas are completely gone. I do still have the kale plants and the collard greens behind me, but the Swiss chard and the peas, no more. So the destruction of everything happened, I want to say like 2 weeks ago now. So I noticed that the gophers weren't eating everything else, and so I just kind of let the garden do its own thing. But now that the greens are growing back, I put in some new fencing. So that's what this is on this side. This is the new fencing. It has tinier holes so that they're not able to get in. And then this side is still a work in progress. We're actually going to finish this later on today because we started working on this new fencing yesterday, but we weren't able to finish and we ran out of fencing. So we're going to finish this later on today. But other than that though, everything else is doing amazing. And yeah, so I'm going to take you on a tour, show you how everything is doing, and also show you the video of the gopher that we caught in here. I actually have footage on my phone that I took on my phone of the gopher that was like trapped in here. It couldn't figure out how to get out, but eventually it figured out how to get out. So, but that was after it had completely destroyed everything. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you guys what is going on in here. So the first thing that I wanted to show you guys was this beautiful potato plant that is growing in here. It is doing so good. It is starting to flower already, and it is massive. Okay, it's not that tall, you guys. I actually have it stacked up on top of another bucket that had the peas that were decimated by the gophers. So there is nothing in this bucket down here, so I just kind of put it up here to save some space in here. But look at this. I am so happy that the potatoes turned out really good, and especially this one. This one is the biggest one out of all the ones that I planted, and I'm guessing it's because the root system in here has more space to go really deep down as compared to the other ones that I've planted throughout the garden. And down here I have my 3 crates. So I have this one, and this one. Unfortunately, these ones haven't flowered yet. I'm not sure what's taking them so long to flower, but I do know that the gophers got in here and they tried to eat some of the leaves off of them, but I don't think they like the taste of them too much, so they left them alone. But I'm not sure why they haven't started flowering. Maybe there isn't enough drainage, but I'm not sure what's going on with that. But you know, that's something that I can obviously try and figure out and hopefully fix before, you know, it's too late. Over here are the rest of the potatoes that I planted in here. These are also flowering, so that's good. I think these ones and the ones that I just showed you in the bucket are probably going to give me the best potatoes because they're the ones that have started flowering already, and some of the flowers are even starting to fall off. So I mean, that, I guess that tells me that we're further ahead than the ones that are in the crates. The next thing that I wanted to show you was the corn, which has developed both female flowers and male flowers, but on some of them, like this one, there's just the male flower. There's no like corn, like the ears are not there. But in these ones back here, there's at least 3 of them. So, and I have been hand pollinating them because there's not enough of them to pollinate by themselves. So this is the first bucket on this side, and then over here is the second bucket. And again, the same problem that I'm having, like these 2 have male flowers, this one and this one, but then there's no female flowers. And then on this side, it's the same issue. This one has both the male and the female, and so does this one. So I think overall I'm gonna get 6 ears of corn, which isn't bad for my first time, and considering that I didn't have that many plants to begin with. And then over here is my massive bush, I guess. I don't even know. It's humongous. A lot of cherry tomatoes in here. I have a lot of small tomatoes that are forming, and I have lots and lots of flowers. The gophers did get in here a little bit, and they started to chew on some of the leaves down there, but I don't think they like the taste of them too much, so they kind of left them alone. But they didn't destroy too much anyway, and they needed to be kind of pruned back a little, and I didn't do that, so I guess the gophers helped me out a little bit with that. But this is just looking fantastic. Down here are the collard greens, guys. This is so sad. Yeah, there's just tiny little stalks now, but the leaves are starting to come back. Like you can see on this one, the leaves are really trying to come back, and on a few more of them, the leaves are coming back. But yeah, this is so sad, you guys. Like some of them don't even, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything is just gone. These are the stalks that I took off yesterday when I was fixing up the fence. I had a chance to come in here really well and just take all the stalks and all the old leaves that had been torn up, and just kind of put them in piles down here. But yeah, it's really sad because my plan was to actually film a video where I showed you guys the recipes that I make for my son with the greens that I pick from the garden, but I guess I might have to wait a few more weeks until these leaves have grown back. The same thing happened to the kale as well. There is no more kale. I mean, there's like tiny little leaves that are coming back, but I had gigantic massive leaves before they were eaten by the gophers, you guys. They looked so good, and I had never had the purple kale before, the Russian kale I think it's called. So I was really looking forward, because this one right here, this big one in the middle here, is the Russian kale, and I was really looking forward to eating that and trying that for the first time, but I guess I'll have to wait a few more weeks until that is a possibility. Over here are all the peppers. There are so many peppers. And you can't even tell them apart almost from the foliage from the potatoes. They're quite similar color of green. But look at them. They've taken off. Like everything in the garden beds is just shocking me right now, both good and bad, because I cannot believe how big these have gotten over just the last month. Because I think in my last video you guys really couldn't even see them at all. They were that tiny, and now look how big they've gotten. Also, another thing, and this is kind of embarrassing, but I have no idea what kind of pepper is which. None. Because back when I was transferring them out from the seed starting trays into the garden, they all fell. Like they literally fell from maybe like a height of maybe like 7 feet. They just fell. And I picked them up, but then once they fell, I had no idea what was what. So we will find out. Once I start getting the peppers, I will know which plants are which. But I know that this tall guy right here in the middle is cayenne, but I have no idea what the rest of them are. So it's just a guessing game at this point. So that's cool. Finally in here, you guys, I have my tiny little patch of carrots. I also have in here sunflower seeds, or sunflower like plants, because the squirrels and the chipmunks hide this has been a problem that I've had since last year too, is that the squirrels and the chipmunks will come in here and they'll bury their sunflower seeds that they get from the bird feeders that my neighbors have, and they'll come in here and they'll dig them in here and they will start growing sunflower seeds. And they've also like deposited a whole bunch of other stuff in here too that I need to like weed out a little bit. But that is what this is looking like, and that's what this is looking like. This is probably one of my favorite things in here because it kind of beat the odds, and this Swiss chard just really, it's doing so good. I'm so happy with it. And then finally over here on the porch we have this Swiss chard. Look how amazing this looks. Like it looks so healthy and so good compared to what I was trying to grow in the garden beds that is completely gone now. But I just think it's so much better if you're going to grow Swiss chard. I would highly recommend that you just grow it in the containers, unless you've had good luck, because I haven't. If you've had good luck growing them in the garden beds, you know, go ahead. But as far as I go, this seems to be the best option for me. The last and final thing that I wanted to share with you guys is this little baby tomato plant, you guys. I didn't plant this. I didn't even know that this was in here up until yesterday when we came in here to fix the fence and, you know, just like clean up everything in the beds. But was it last year or the year before? I had a tomato plant. I had some tomato plants growing in this soil and they did poorly, which is why I didn't grow anything in here. And one of the seeds must have fallen, and now I have a little tomato plant, and I have no idea what kind of tomato this is, but I'm just so excited because it beat the odds, because this in here was all the crates and all the buckets. All these buckets were in here. And there was barely any sunlight because the corn and, you know, the foliage from the corn and the foliage from the potatoes was kind of shading out the sun. But this little guy has just managed to grow, and that's why I ended up moving these things over to this side, just so that this little guy here can get some more sunlight. And because it's looking a little leggy right now, it doesn't look so strong, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks it gains a lot more strength and starts to look a little bit more like these tomatoes over here. So that is the end of today's video. I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I feel like I'm saying this at the end of every video now, that I'm having challenges in my garden, but that's because that's the truth. But the thing is that I'm keeping positive because I know that these are not, they're not problems that I can't fix, and they're not problems that I'm gonna have forever. Because as far as like the greens go, the kale and the collard greens, those are gonna grow back. The leaves are gonna grow back, and I'm gonna have a harvest eventually. And as far as the peas go, even if these ones were completely decimated, I was hoping and planning on planting another round of peas to harvest in the fall. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'm going to be planting more peas, and then I'll harvest them in September. So again, that's just focusing more on the positives than, you know, just focusing on the fact that I don't have any Swiss chard back here. But that's okay, because I have Swiss chard on the porch. So, you know, everything kind of has just worked itself out. So I'm just going to keep positive, and I'm going to keep filming, and I'm going to keep updating you guys on everything that's going on. I really appreciate your support. I've noticed that I've had some people who watch my content and have subscribed, so I really appreciate you guys for that. And yeah, before I continue rambling, I will see you guys in my next video, and thank you again so much for watching. Bye guys.